Hello everyone.
Hey.
We are back to discuss more card fight stuff. And here we have Willie.
Our special guest.
Hello.
Plays Genesis. I do too, but he knows it a little more than I do. You may have noticed that my glasses are gone.
You look kind of weird with that though. It's like, it feels very off. Like, also put in the comments below, do you prefer him with the shades over that, okay?
Or how about that? Or how about a hat?
Oh, sure.
Or just not me at all, you know? the best moments with Paul are the ones without him. Okay, so here we're going to talk about recent changes in like the meta and game with a few cards that came out in the recent set, GBT 08. Which is also known as absolute garbage, but that's the point.
To be honest, it's absolute
nobody's
judgment.
judging this though, right?
It's called absolute judgment. We're going to judge the hell out of it. But like we're doing it right here, because a couple cards came out for Genesis that allowed for a very interesting, maybe cancerous, very powerful deck called the Wiseman Combo deck. A lot of you probably already heard of it. Some of you are probably building it, and you know, or placed against it and know the power it has. So it involves basically just one old card and 3 cards that came out in the new set. Let's start with the Stand Trigger, Goddess of Sound Sleep Toro. Basically what she does is that she has Revelation, Rearguard Circle. That's not what matters. What matters is that when she's Soul Blasted, you choose one of your rear guards and stand it, which is really good, because if you do like a mid-battle Soul Blast, you can stand one of your rear guards. And you want to explain the next one?
Sure.
You too.
Sure, the next card is our grade 1 common, so very easy to get. Is Shackle Fetter Gauge? Gauge, okay.
Gauge,
Shackles,
Shackles,
grade 2.
I just call it Shackles.
Alright, so he's a Revelation ability, same as Taro. But this is what you want to ride most of the time.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Its skill is not restricted to being a Fenrir Vanguard.
Actually, half of it is.
Half of it.
Yeah.
Yes. So while it's in the soul, you can place it in the bottom of your deck. Choose one of your rear guards and stand it, and then the unit that stood gets +3.
And if it's just standing, you just give it the +3. Then if you have a Fenrir.
Then if you do have a Fenrir Vanguard, then you soul charge 2 cards and give another unit +3.
It could be the same unit. Yeah. And then we have this old common grade 3 from BT14 way back, Genesis Wiseman. And what makes him unique is that he's the only card, rear guard card, that could Soul Blast without like a once per turn restriction. And his is simple, he just gets +4k. But the fact that he continually Soul Blast, if you were to restand him, for example, with her, you could do the skill again.
So yes, this is your trifecta right here.
So the idea is you get Shackles, you soul charge a lot, give him a lot of powers, a lot of +6s, and then if you have up to 4 of her, you could attack, Soul Blast 3, including one of her, stand it mid-attack, the attack's still going, it's not moved from the rearguard circle, so the attack's still going, and then you get to do it again until you're running out of stands. Now, you think it's just 4 attacks, 4 big power columns, but then you have, or the GR of the set, Fenrir. Why don't you explain what Fenrir does?
Sure. So first, I guess we should explain what Revelation is. First, Revelation is you look at the top card of the deck, and then you can place it on the soul. If you do, you must rest one of your rearguards. Doesn't have to be the rearguard that you called. What Fenrir does is it changes Revelation. Now you check the top 2 cards and place one of them in the soul, and the other goes to the top of your deck.
But with the combo, what really matters is the second skill.
Wait, what? What do you mean? It has GBT.
It has 2 skills. So the second skill is an act skill. So as long as you're able to pay the cost.
And it's not once per turn. You can keep doing it.
So as long as you're able to pay the cost, it's Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 3, and you can draw a card. If you do not pick one of your rear guards and Fenrir, and they both get +3.
And you may also soul charge too. It says specifically you may place the top card of your deck into your soul, basically soul charging 1, but it's a may. So either you may draw a card. If you don't, you may soul charge 1, then the Vanguard and another unit gave +3. So you're constantly boosting the Wiseman. And
Vanguard.
and Vanguard too.
This unit and another.
It's more important on him.
It's mostly.
Because by the point that you reach, or the point that you have everything in the soul, you don't have enough to attack with Vanguard.
Idea of a combo deck is that you still charge your entire deck to you're literally down to like 4 cards, and then you do Shackle's skill, to
return it to
the bottom, soul charge 2. And then
Wiseman power.
Then you use Fenrir's skill to soul blast, let's say, the stand triggers.
This and something else. So now this is also on the deck.
Yeah, and then you do Shackles again so that you could bring him back. Shackles is back into the deck so you could redo his skill.
Oh wow! Well, then, wouldn't that take a long process, more than 5 minutes?
It's faster than you think.
Well, it does take a while. It uses a lot of dice and a lot of thinking and a lot of +3s.
The opponent must be really bored just sitting there, when is it going to be done?
Yeah, it's because with 5 Open Counterblast, you're able to boost your Angelic Wiseman to over 100k. It is possible.
Oh, 100k.
Yes.
Well,
and it swings for 100k.
Plus the 4
Plus the 4, that matters. You still bless the Toro. It goes back, it's standing, and you get to do it again for the other 3 Toros. And then there's even ways of putting the Toros back into the soul with cards like Witch of Grapes, Grappa, and Witch of Oranges, Valencia.
Now, question, is there a limit? It seems infinite, so you could do this over and over.
It feels infinite. People call it a loop, but it's the only limiting factor is that 1, you can't run out of soul, surprisingly. And 2, you can't have infinite counterblasts. So once you run out of his axe skill, there's not really much you can do in order to boost his power up. You can't make him to an infinite power.
The only way that this goes is if you have other cards that soul charge during the same turn, such as the Grade 1 Witch and the Grade 2 Witch. When they are so blasted, you soul charge. So that's how you get these back into the soul in order to proc them off again.
So let's say you soul blasted 4 of these already. There's 4 stacked here, but then you soul blast Witch of Oranges. You get the top 2, which just so I have 2 more stands, put them back in the soul, you get more attacks.
Oh, wow.
So the set's only been out for 2 weeks now, but we already knew this combo was out there. People were showing it off. I think someone in Mexico City made top 8. I don't know if it's most likely this build, but Genesis did reach up there. And people are saying that it's cancerous, it's too powerful. We have to ban the Toro, Wiseman, all this. Get rid of them all. Well, Ocho, since this is your outside perspective of all this, how do you think about this?
I think it's all the other videos that people that played this game, mostly they won, but there's still ways to beat this because again, isn't a setup. If you don't have the right setup, you could still ride accidentally to him.
Yeah, that's the question. How likely is this to happen?
There
are ways.
There are a lot of ways. People are thinking if you draw a Toro or if it goes in the drop zone, then the combo fizzles out, right? No, it doesn't because you have the G guard that gets cards from the drop zone back into the deck.
Genesis is able to get anything they like from anywhere except for the damage zone, but it's always you're able to heal that off.
Actually, I have a question. If this is considered cancerous, what is considered cancerous?
Well, this is considered cancerous mainly because it has very, very few bad matchups, and it wins almost every time. And it's it's kind of like an I win scenario. I strike to this, I have these in the soul. It's pretty much game. If you can't,
Mega Colony has no effect on this.
Yeah, Mega Colony doesn't really do much because
this stands the unit.
And unless this was already on the field, then Uptrendus isn't really going to stop it. But even then, you're only stalling for another turn.
So Angel was a thing. They stopped it because Refrost, right?
Oh yeah. Refrost was considered cancerous because because it would constantly boost up your rear guards and get a lot of advantage. And a lot of people do compare it to this because it's another broken stand trigger just like Refrost.
Now, next thing, Gear Chronicles about TikTok Worker.
Well, TikTok Worker was able to give you a huge curve in first stride, a lot of pokes. The only way you can survive that turn if you got damaged during that turn, which is not something you hope for.
Now, question: instead of banning, are they gonna also do another one saying you can only have one of the stand? Are they gonna do that same pattern? So I noticed they only give you like at least one, because they gave one rare for us.
Probably
So,
two, because the whole thing relies on having multiple copies of the stand trigger in order to keep this going and constantly soul charge that stand trigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the only way that this is a cancerous combo is that this is the only card, one of the only card that's not restricted, like you said, to soul blasting during battle. There is the grade 2 we got, but it is a once per turn.
People are saying different things. We need to limit Wiseman. We need to limit Taro. They ain't gonna limit this. That's not really the main fault. This just helps the loop, because you could still do the combo without him. There's turns where you're like on Vanna Garner or even a first stride, not first stride, but like another random stride, and still able to do the combo. And hell, even if you don't have him, you can get like double crit on him or something and get swing at 24 constantly for a lot.
Okay. Wow.
So there are minor ways to make this combo really powerful. So these are the main issues because they're the main pieces. And people say, well, should we limit Wiseman or should we limit Toro? If we limit Wiseman, that's just saying that we're not going to ever make another rear guard that can soul blast on its own. At least that doesn't have a once per turn. So it's already hindering not just the card, but the clan itself as a whole. And with that, in my opinion, if they are going to limit any of this, it should be Toro, because she was the main combo piece that sparked this. Wiseman was fine before Toro was there, so why should he get the hit? You know?
Right.
And like, if let's say, what would you like rather limit if it had to be limited?
If anything, I do agree with the stand trigger. But I guess one of the things that does make this combo is so powerful is how much power Wiseman is able to get through shackles.
That is true. So you're saying like if shackles was limited somehow, that would help?
In some ways, because then it's not hitting as big and it has more. It gives the opponent more opportunities to guard it.
That's true. Yeah, because like let's say if shackles was limited to one, you could just do the skill once. You can't you can't soul charge enough shackles to do the loop. I don't think so. So it would only get like +6 and like any other power boost. So at most, if you're lucky with triggers, it will probably be like up to 30k, not the 100k monster.
The problem with limiting that is that he's supposed to help your revelation field stand for their attacks.
And that's the the build that Bushi was pushing. So yeah, but
so this more likely than this.
And more likely
this is out of the question that they will not limit.
Yeah, not Wiseman.
If anything, this is the more likely one.
Even if this was limited to one, you could just do, I swing for 100k, stand, swing for 100k. That's 2 attacks, and that 2 ginormous attacks isn't such a huge deal, especially in Vanguard when they're only dealing 1 damage. And even if unless they're trigger stacked, then that's another issue. So it isn't as cancerous as tag. Oh, stop it! He's already dead. So yeah, you were gonna say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, this used to be like, it reminds me of like Beast Duties as a Nova player. It used to be like the 8 attacks was the thing. Infinite Hell, remember?
Oh yeah, because that was the first time you could do
8
that many attacks.
That many attacks, and then now it becomes like Aquaforce could do that many attacks. And now Neonectars could do that many attacks. This one does it. Not Spike, Leak Joker, Spike Brothers are doing it, but this one tops the most because
I don't know if it could do the most attacks. I believe it could do up to. I heard it could do 12, but I think the most I've seen is 10.
10, right?
Including Vanguard and another rearguard. So it might be possible to do like up to like 12 because. I
guess if you do attack with Vanguard, you can't check stand triggers. If you
that's part of one.
Because I've noticed like, if you only have 4 cards and you soul charge 2, you'd be left with 2. But you find ways to put it back.
And even if you are left with 1 card in the soul, you're just gonna win with this and not attack with Vanguard.
Yeah.
And like the backup plan is like, let's say they somehow survive it. You have Dreaming Dragon, who's a stand trigger that can return all cards from the drops onto the deck.
And replay the game again.
So there's a lot of other cards like the G-Guard and Stand Trigger that really help make the deck last, and it can fix it on the combo.
Oh yeah, even start thinning out the deck is no problem with the Fridays Collection stride.
Oh yeah,
that card.
Tyre?
Yeah, military beast tier.
He's basically your main ramp soul charger because he could soul charge up to like 9 cards a turn.
Oh yes.
How so? How was it?
It's Soul Blast 3 main phase. You look at the top card, you put it in the top or bottom, and then he gets a scale where that when he attacks, if his drive check reveals a grade 3 or greater, you may soul charge 3. The idea.
Grade 1 or higher.
Grade 1 or better.
Grade 3 or greater. It's like,
I said grade 3 or greater?
Yeah.
Before I said grade 1 or higher. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I slipped out.
So whenever you drive check anything
like let's say
but
you
a
drive
trigger,
this,
you
then
soul charge 3.
You soul charge 3.
Oh, wow.
So at most you could soul charge 9.
At least you can soul charge 0, but you're getting triggers, so it's not a big deal.
So either way, win-win there.
Yeah, and when you're doing that, what I've seen people do is like probably soul blast like Witch and Grapes or something just to get even more soul, you know?
Okay.
So they do it to the point where like they almost have no deck.
At
And
least
then
half by first stride.
first stride. What's your accumulation like? How much deck size on first stride?
It's
It's anywhere from 9 minimum to about 13, 14.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then you start on Fenrir who soul charges 3.
Yes, he soul charges 3
Yeah.
on him.
So you
on
soul
his
charge
own.
12.
So you're
it's the
you're
first
at
game.
least so anywhere from 9 to 15.
I would say that, yeah, like 9 to 15.
It's almost 1/4 of the deck already
Mm-hmm.
gone through. Besides doing drive checks, drawing the card normally.
Exactly, yeah. So you go through your deck really fast. It is possible to get the combo off by second stride.
Oh yes, and then if you manage to catch him, and also if you do manage to ride, that's another 2.
Mm-hmm. And you manage to get these, like during that first ramp, soul charge, if you get these guys, all you need is at least 3 of each. You run play sets of each, but you need at least 3 to like do a lot of damage. Hell, even like just 2 of him or 2 of her, and you can still do a lot. It's possible.
Okay, another question. Now, if they don't limit it,
Mm-hmm.
what is a bad matchup for this infinite combo?
There's only about 2 right now, and soon to be 3.
Ooh.
It's going to be Kagero. I'm sorry. It's 3 then 4. It's Kagero, Freeze Ray Messiah, and
yes.
Night Rose, and soon to be Gears.
Now, why Night Rose?
Because Night Rose has a G guard called Negro Lily, who's able to bring a card called Skeleton Canyoneer in the opponent's turn and retire a unit.
Nice.
So let's say I'm like doing the attack. A Grand Blue player could just go G guard, pay the cost. It's a short little combo that's able to retire in their turn, but it helps.
Yeah, it's
You call
it's
the
a near
Canyoneer.
counter blast 3, but worth it when you're
I
gonna
think
save
it's
your life
Catalyst
from
2, I
that.
believe. Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
It's kind of small.
Okay.
No, 1 for Negro Lily and 1 for Canyoneer.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the cost is just 2.
And you draw a card too, so it's helping for the rest of the turn.
Yes.
Nice. And
So-
then for Kagero,
It's Denali
Denali Griffin, and then
his card in the deck.
and then was it for Freeze and Messiah? Obviously, if you
If they're stuck on Freeze Ray, even if you have to like do the combo when they're like at 5 damage or they're on Alter Ego. But a smart Freeze Ray player might try his best to stay on 3 or 4. That way, it just one attack, lock it.
lose all that power.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
And soon to be Gears because in the clan booster, Gear Chronicle has a guard called Hetero Round, I believe. I don't know the full name. It's basically a Chronojet G guard that rewinds a unit during the battle and lets them top deck another card.
Okay.
So it's funny. Like you're doing the combo, right? You could like attack G guard, rewind it. You call the top card, which is most likely a stand.
Oh god! Ouch! That really would.
But a revelation, right?
Or it could be even a bigger. Or if the person like isn't paying attention, you could end up with 1 card and just
call it. It's like sports. The same card that he put is like okay. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, but then you already be deck out.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyways, point is, it will fizzle out the combo because even if you even get like another Wiseman out, it's a 10k Wiseman. It's a new unit. So yeah.
All right. So let's say if Wiseman were to be hit, what would your grade 3 be then for the deck?
That's kind of hard to say because in the past the Fenrir deck didn't have good backup grade 3s. People were running the Legion, people were running Minerva. I would say probably the new Battle Maiden, the one that gets plus 1k Vanguard Rigor Circle when a card's put in the soul.
Oh, okay, the other 10 base.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll just go back to splashing in some Regalia. Like they would probably run the new Regalia grade 3 with the Stride. But then again, it is very Regalia focused, so I'm not too sure.
The grade 3, you must have Regalia regards to.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yikes.
So yeah, but I'm pretty sure if it was limited, the deck would survive, not be completely destroyed. Kind of like how it is with Rare Frost. The deck isn't destroyed; it's still pretty good.
A question for, I think this will be off topic for like championship for this deck. Instead of top eight, do you think it's gonna be top 4 or even topping 1?
Like, will this deck actually manage to top in tournaments? Well, there's a few more tournaments gonna happen. I know they will be there. Believe me.
We'll join there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pomona, okay, everybody.
You are more limited in a sense, but you do have the new grade 2 who also blast during battle. So if you could get at least 2 of them out there, you would be able to do something similar, just to not the great extent that Wiseman would.
Oh, you're talking about the new
Yes, Boulder.
Yeah, it's a once per turn, so you could stand it once, and that's it.
That question: what if you fought a mirror match of this?
That is interesting.
Because I never seen no one did a mirror match. Videos was doing about this one being other decks. I've yet to see a video where this loop beats another loop.
Whoever strikes first.
Whoever strikes.
I think it comes down to that, because whoever strikes first is gonna ramp first, and then get to Fenrir first, and then do Wiseman Combo first. So.
Wicked. Okay.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting matchup, but I think it's pretty simple. Who will win? But ultimately, guys, do you think that this card, any of these cards, the deck needs to be limited?
I think just the stand. Mostly just going to
Yes,
target.
because who was using Wiseman when it came out?
Right.
But do you think it actually should happen though?
It should, but at the same time, it's a pattern because they've been Bushi Road's been only limited to 1 or 2. They should give it the 2 respect, like Cat Bullet, like they did over there.
2?
The 2, because 2 is a start. If it gets too abusive still with 2, then again, I think Bushi Road's can still do 1.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get like banned or restricted tomorrow.
Yes,
because Bush Road likes to let the damage be done first before it happens. So, well, unless there's like a crap load of Genesis toppings out of nowhere, and maybe there isn't a big enough uproar of people who don't like this deck, then possibly it will get banned.
Oh yeah, we saw. What's that one tournament there was a lot of purple?
Yeah.
Like all top 3 was literally just
a lot of purple lately.
Yeah.
It was like top 3 gears. Wow,
but it's their start, their poster child. They can't limit that, or they did, but they're not. It's not going to do that much damage. It's not. It hasn't came here yet. That's why it's still unrestricted. Yeah. But so now that you heard us ramble about cards for a long time, tell us what you guys think. Do you think that this deck is cancerous? Do you think it should be limited? Do you think it's good how it's fine on its own? It's not as bad as this deck and that deck. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes, Bushi Road.
Yes, Bushi Road.
Yes, Bushi
Let us
Road.
know your thoughts
Yes.
on why you made this.
And
also-
you too, because you need to future-proof your cards.
That is true.
Because who expected that Nightmareland deck to come out of it?
Without, yeah, I know. Without a standard format, you need to really future-proof their cards to look at all the random commons suddenly becoming meta.
Yes, 3 commons sprouted this.
3 commons. And if you are, but regardless, hold on to your commons. They might be super powerful in the future.
And also tell us in the comments below also that if you like having special guests like AK Willie to come by to discuss more about Vanguard. Instead of just you see me just rambling along questions.
Yeah. Or, obviously we get more topics discussing. What would you like to see us discuss about? Another deck build, things in the community, things in the game, anything Vanguard related, please. Yeah.
We would love to keep you rambling on Vanguard.
Yes, because there's one thing we love besides playing Vanguard is talking about Vanguard, aka bitching about Vanguard.
And then I think that wraps it up. There's anything that...
Just make sure to like, comment, subscribe, show this video to your friends. Let them know what other players think about this, and we want to know what you think about this.
Also, there's a new thing going on. Also, place English captions on our videos, and you'll have a good laugh. And most of
Oh yeah. If you want to hear us make even less sense than we already do now, watch our fight videos with English captions.
You'll enjoy it. You will not regret it. All right, and I think that's it.
All right. Bye, everyone.